Number 9. Earth's lava tubes, the scorching unknown. Alright, let's end with some drama. Ever walk through a cave and think, it's missing lava? Well, good news. Earth has those too. They're called lava tubes, and while some have been explored, many remain completely untouched, mostly because crawling into a tunnel made by molten rock is a bad life choice. Lava tubes form when lava flows under the surface, cools on the outside, and keeps flowing inside like a river of fire. When the lava finally drains out, it leaves behind long, hollow tunnels, often miles long, with ceilings that occasionally collapse just to keep things spicy. The most extreme lava tubes are found in places like Hawaii, Iceland, and even beneath the Moon and Mars, but let's stay earthbound for now. Some are accessible to tourists, others so deep and unstable that even scientists with fancy gear say, yeah, maybe next year. Inside, it's pitch black. Oxygen can be iffy, and the air might still hold heat long after the lava's gone. Oh, and did we mention hidden vertical shafts you can fall into? Because those are fun. But here's the kicker: researchers believe some of the least explored lava tubes could hold microbial life, rare minerals, or prehistoric air pockets trapped for thousands of years. Basically, it's part death trap, part science jackpot. Just don't go spelunking without a will and a satellite tracker. Number 8. The Hadal Trenches crushing despair zones. You already know the ocean is terrifying, but let's take that dread and funnel it into something very specific: the Hadal Zone. These are parts of the ocean that are deeper than 20,000 feet. That's like stacking 6 Empire State Buildings underwater, then asking, wanna go down there? Spoiler, no, you don't. These trenches, like the Philippine Trench, Tonga Trench, and Kuril-Kamchatka Trench, are so deep, dark, and pressure-packed that even robotic submersibles need to be built like titanium soda cans. And even then, they sometimes fail. As for humans, not happening. Fun fact, the term Hadal comes from Hades, the Greek god of the underworld. That's not subtle, that's accurate. In these crushing zones, creatures survive on, well, we don't really know. Some feed off marine snow, which is just a gentle term for dead stuff drifting down for eternity. Others rely on chemical vents or are so weird and gelatinous that they break every biology rule. Scientists have dropped instruments and cameras down there, and every time, it's like opening a new level of nature's haunted basement: eyeless shrimp, giant amphipods, translucent blob things that look like stress incarnate just existing where no light has ever reached. It's wet, deadly, and almost completely unmapped. So the next time someone says, we've discovered everything on Earth, kindly remind them there's a whole league of despair 10 miles under the sea that begs to differ. Number 7. The Congo Swamp of Shadows. If Earth had a do not disturb sign, it would be hanging right over the Likuala Swamp in the Republic of Congo. This place is so remote, dense, and waterlogged that it makes most rainforests look like suburban parks. We're talking about 55,000 square miles of trees, vines, and mud, and just maybe a living dinosaur. Yes, you read that right. The legend of Mokele Mbembe, a creature often described as a small sauropod or a swamp brontosaurus, has persisted among local communities and cryptid enthusiasts for decades. And while no one's ever caught the thing on camera, or even conclusively proven it exists, the point is no one's fully explored this place. Why not? Oh, just the impassable terrain, killer insects, diseases, unmapped rivers, and venomous everything. Expeditions have tried and failed. It's like nature's way of saying, you don't belong here. Go stream a documentary from the safety of your air conditioning. Satellite imagery barely penetrates the jungle canopy, and boots on the ground exploration, it's limited to edge zones and narrow channels, because slogging through this swamp is like trying to walk through a bowl of hot soup filled with vines and rage. If there are lost species hiding anywhere, plants, animals, ancient viruses, this would be the place. And we have zero idea what most of it even is. Basically, the Likuala Swamp is one giant nope that science keeps squinting at from a distance. Number 6. The deep biosphere where rock breathes. You probably think life needs sunlight, air, and Taco Bell to exist, but somewhere between 1 to 3 miles beneath your feet, deep in the Earth's crust, there's a secret world called the deep biosphere. And no human has ever physically visited it because it's inside the freaking rocks. We're talking microbes that survive on hydrogen gas, sulfur, or pure existential angst. They live in solid rock, No oxygen, no light, just pressure, heat, and the biological equivalent of "I refuse to die." Scientists only discovered this biosphere recently, using boreholes and mining tunnels to grab samples, and guess what? It's massive. Some experts estimate that the biomass of this subterranean microbial life outweighs all the ocean's fish combined. These microbes grow slowly, like a generation every 1,000 years slow, but they're still alive, and they've been down there possibly since before dinosaurs were a concept. So while you're up here worrying about rent and traffic, just know that Earth has an entire deep, invisible jungle of stone-dwelling creepers who couldn't care less about surface drama. You'll never meet them in person unless you fall into a mineshaft and stay there for a few eons. Number 5. Under Antarctic ice, the alien lake party. Antarctica, land of penguins, endless snow, and a hidden lake buried under 2 miles of ice. Yep, meet Lake Vostok, a body of fresh water sealed off from the world for millions of years, like a Tupperware container left in Earth's freezer since the dinosaur era. Lake Vostok is roughly the size of Lake Ontario, but don't get excited, it's not a good vacation spot. It's completely pitch black, under extreme pressure, and oh yeah, no one has ever physically visited it. We've sent sterile probes and sampled ice cores, but a human trip's still science fiction. Why does it matter? Because scientists think alien life, or at least weird microscopic critters, might be lurking down there. Not aliens with spaceships and laser guns, but extremophiles that have evolved in isolation, breathing minerals and flipping off sunlight for the last 15 million years. Accessing it is a logistical and ethical nightmare. Drilling too fast could contaminate the ecosystem, or worse, unleash ancient bacteria we're not exactly prepared for, like a sci-fi horror movie, but real. So Lake Vostok remains untouched, frozen in time, and possibly harboring the Earth's strangest life forms. If we ever do get down there, let's just hope it's not the thing waiting to say hi. Number 4. The Danakil Depression, Earth's alien spa. You know those relaxing spa brochures with steaming water and soothing colors? Imagine the exact opposite of that. Then crank the thermostat up to hell, toss in some sulfur, acid pools, and a dash of "you'll die if you breathe too long," and you've got the Danakil Depression. Located in northeastern Ethiopia, this cheerful slice of Earth is one of the hottest, most toxic, and least human-friendly places on the planet. Temperatures regularly soar above 120 degrees Celsius 9 degrees Fahrenheit, and the air is laced with toxic gases like sulfur dioxide. It's not, don't forget, sunscreen hot. It's your sweat is sweating hot. But the scenery, absolutely otherworldly. Bright yellow sulfur mounds, neon green acid pools, and bubbling lava lakes make it look like a level from a video game designed by a bored demon. In fact, scientists studying Mars and other planets actually come here to test equipment because it's just that unearthly. Despite all that, a few incredibly tough Afar people still live and mine salt here because humans will do anything for shiny minerals. But as far as deep exploration goes, nope. The area is unstable, corrosive, and straight up dangerous. The water will dissolve your skin. The ground might collapse beneath your feet. The air might melt your lungs. Have a nice hike. So yes, the Danakil Depression is one of those places where nature politely but very clearly says, "Stay away, fragile meatbag." Number 3. Greenland's subglacial canyons, ice hides, everything. If you're planning a road trip through Greenland, first of all, why? And second, prepare to drive over one of the biggest hidden landscapes on Earth. Beneath the ice sheet lies a canyon so long and deep, it makes the Grand Canyon look like a toddler's sandpit. Discovered by radar in 2013, this subglacial canyon runs for 460 miles. That's New York to Detroit long, and it's entirely covered in 2 miles of solid ice. Not exactly a spot for weekend hikers. Humans haven't visited it directly for one simple reason: it's trapped in a frozen time capsule. The ice above is so thick that even fancy ground-penetrating radar struggles to get a clear picture, and digging through it, that'd take years, billions of dollars, and the patience of a glacier. What's down there? Ancient riverbeds, possibly forgotten life forms, maybe the leftovers of some ancient climate catastrophe, or a mammoth rave. Honestly, nobody knows. And here's the kicker: parts of Greenland's ice are melting, which means we may accidentally reveal this buried mega canyon in the future because climate change, the gift that keeps on giving. So yeah, while we've mapped Mars better than we've mapped Greenland's under ice real estate, we're just over here skating across one of the most massive secrets on Earth like it's no big deal. Number 2. The Mariana Trench, bottom Earth's pressure dungeon. You might think Mount Everest is impressive, and it is if you like standing on top of cold rocks, but flip the script and dive down, and you'll find the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean. The deepest known part is called Challenger Deep, and it's about 36,000 feet below the surface. That's deep enough to swallow Everest and still have room for a parking lot. Technically, a couple of probes and a very bold James Cameron have visited it in tiny, specially designed submersibles, but humans, in the normal take a stroll and stretch your legs sense, absolutely not. Why? Because the pressure down there is so insane, over 1,000 times what you feel at sea level, that it would turn your body into a pancake. A very compressed, very dead pancake. There's also no sunlight, at all. Just pitch black waters filled with terrifying creatures that look like evolution said, I dare you to draw your worst nightmare. Think glowing teeth, transparent skin, and more tentacles than strictly necessary. And despite being underwater, the trench is technically drier than a desert when it comes to exploration. Less than 0.05% of the ocean floor has been mapped in detail. The rest, total mystery. So while we send billionaires into space for fun, there's a whole alien world lurking at the bottom of our own ocean that we haven't even cracked open yet, which is probably for the best. Have you seen those fish? Number 1. The Earth's core hotter than your ex's temper. You've probably seen dramatic CGI journeys to the center of the Earth in movies lava rivers, glowing crystals, maybe a dinosaur or two chilling below the crust. Reality check, no one has ever been anywhere near the core, not even close. We've drilled down maybe 7.6 miles, 12 kilometers, which is basically poking Earth with a toothpick, the core. That's about 4,000 miles deep. You do the math. The inner core is a giant ball of solid iron and nickel, sitting at temperatures hotter than the surface of the sun. Yes, hotter than the sun. Around 10 to 800 degrees 6 degrees. It's also under enough pressure to turn carbon into diamonds. Basically, it's Earth's overachieving pressure cooker. Why haven't we visited, lava? Insane pressure, rock so dense it laughs at drills. Take your pick. Our best shot, the Kola super deep borehole in Russia. Only scratched the upper crust before the heat and tech said nope and died. So for now, we rely on seismic waves and educated guesses to figure out what's down there. It's like trying to study the inside of a cake by banging on the pan and listening to the echo. But just imagine if we could go, you'd step out of your drill pod and instantly vaporize while being crushed like a soda can in a trash compactor. Good times. So yeah, Earth's core remains one of the most untouched places on the planet, mostly because the planet will straight up murder anyone who tries. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.